We're here. We're live. Hello. Hello, and welcome to the very
What's
first
happening?
episode of Tales of Terramir. It's happening. A new actual play fantasy role playing game campaign set in an original homebrew world. Um, on this show, we will be playing Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition on a platform called Roll20. But even if you've never played or heard of those before, we hope you'll still join us in this collaborative, improvisational storytelling narrative that will surely bring laughs, scares, and maybe even some tears. We'll see. Um, First up, let's introduce ourselves, starting with me. I'm Wes Ford. In real life, I'm a video editor in Detroit, Michigan, but I spend a lot of free time playing D&D. I've been running and playing games for over 20 years, and it's been a lifelong hobby of mine. I'll be the game master for this campaign, meaning I will be controlling the world around our characters. But enough from me. Let's hear from our players. Mike, let's start with you.
Hey, I'm Mike Dones. I'm a QA analyst in Orlando, Florida. I've been playing 5e for about past few years now, dabbling in other games like Aliens, Blaze in the Dark, Deadlands, Star Wars, and even GMing the Call of Cthulhu sessions for our group. Um, I like my coffee black, my whiskey neat, and other than that, I'm really excited to be here and hope you all enjoy the game.
Awesome. Hannah, you're up.
Hey, I'm Hannah. I'm also based in Orlando. In real life, I'm a UX designer full time, and I do a bit of illustrating in my free time. So feel free to follow me on Instagram at Miss Nicoya if you're interested in seeing some of those illustrations. I've been in a handful of campaigns now, and I've been playing D&D for the past 3 to 4 years, mostly with everyone here. So I'm excited to play another game with everyone.
Sweet. Rob.
Woo! Hi, all. It's Rob. I'm a longtime Dungeons and Dragons dude. Wes and I have been playing together for over a decade now. Um, I'm a therapist out in the Blue Ridge Mountains of North Carolina. I live and work near the city of Asheville, the wonderful city of Asheville. I enjoy dogs and naturey things. When I'm not playing in one of Wes's games, I'm usually running a few of my own at any given time for my friends. And ladies, I am single and my DMs are currently open if you're looking for an emotionally stunted man child who spends the majority of his time in various fantasy settings. And that's me.
Threw a curveball in there, Rob.
Nice.
Gotta
Hey,
keep
these
you
are hard
guessing.
times for the dating
It's like
world.
that's live, you know?
For sure. Oh, Justin, you're up.
So I'm Justin. I'm a reformed Florida man living in Seattle right now. I'm relatively new to the RPG world. My hobbies include constantly forgetting where to find things on my character sheet, overwriting my backstories, and asking my comrades to spend their turns healing me. So when I'm not having a blast with these beautiful weirdos here, I can be found hunting for VHS tapes to deconstruct on my YouTube channel, which is VH Saves.
Also, even though you can't see or hear them currently, we do have two producers running the stream behind the scenes, Zach Helms and Charlie Peter. They are, however, moderating and chatting right here in the chat room on Twitch as Z for Zed and Skips Ginsberg, respectively. So, want to give them a round of applause for keeping the show running while we play some D&D. So, yeah, thanks you guys.
I
Thank you
want to
guys.
call them our audio gremlins. We
It's a
can
good
workshop
name.
it.
I like that. Yeah.
I like audio gremlins.
So, pending any life events, we will be streaming new episodes of this show on Twitch at twitch.tv/Tales of Terramir every other Wednesday, 8 p.m. Eastern. Be sure to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. You can also watch us on YouTube or listen to recordings of our shows on all your favorite podcast platforms at least a few days after the episode is streamed. All right. We're going to begin our very first episode of Tales of Terramir.
Woo!
Woohoo!
Woo!
Okay.
I want to break a bottle of champagne.
Okay. Welcome to Galatalon, a vast continent on the world of Terramir. It is the year 1322 BSB, denoting the years since the Great Battle of Spelling Blade, a cataclysmic event that banished the gods beyond what is known as the Eternal Shield. This barrier prevents the deities of light, twilight, and darkness from entering into the material plane, but their presence is still ever felt and has a profound effect upon the world. While other lesser deities, demigods, and powerful spirits seek to either empower or corrupt the hearts and minds of mortals. Going to switch the map here to another view. In the central eastern region of Galatalon is the Domaarian Empire, an expanding autocracy ruled by Emperor Valadrin Milankovitch, who has sought to illegalize the practice of the arcane arts and restrict religious worship to the approved deities of light. Those who practice arcane magic, often called arcanists, are usually imprisoned or executed, even hunted by the renowned Domaarian knights. Within this country's landscape of forests, golden plains, towering mountains, and rolling green farmlands, whispers of war are heard in every imperial citizen's ear as the Domaarian Empire pushes their boundaries to other nations and territories, inflicting their dogma to its surrounding neighbors. Our story begins within this region on Calor the Third, also known as the Day of High Summer. Your eyes slowly drift open as you regain consciousness. Squinting through the bright afternoon sunlight that beams through the bars of an iron-caged caravan being pulled by two draft horses. Although you are a chained, unarmed prisoner, you are not alone. I'll switch you over to another map here. So, you turn and you see someone in the center of this caged caravan. You see a slender sea elf with bluish turquoise skin, dark green hair that's swept back, and long pointed aquiline ears. His eyes are bright blue, almost piercing. He wears a mixture of armor and clothing resembling origins of the sea, as well as human lands. His name is Savamil Donkir, seemingly a cleric of the water goddess Quathalia. He looks to all of you and goes, "Oh, you're finally awake."
What? Where are we?
By the look of it, it seems we're on the edge of the golden thicket on the Imperial Road.
Jim, are you awake?
Jim looks to Anton and silently nods, trying to get her bearings. Can she tell what direction that we're going on the road? Towards New Halcyon or New Domar or towards Halcyon?
Before we get to that, very good question. We focus in on Gemma. What do we see? What does Gemma look like?
huddled, sort of like in the this carriage, you see like a young, smallish figure. She has tall brown boots and a light commoner's shirt that's covered with a leather tunic, and over that a dark blue-gray cloak that comes to sort of like the middle of her legs. Through the opening in her hood, you can catch a glimpse of short black hair, and closer look, you can see that it's cut rather roughly, kind of framing her pale skin of her face. She's looking around cautiously with big, bright blue eyes and trying not to stare at anyone around her too long. Looks a little scared, but staying quiet as well.
She seems to be speaking to a human male next to her. Anton, if you want to describe your character.
You're on mute.
It seems we got you on mute, Justin.
Yeah. So Anton's a dark-haired fighter class, variant human, built like a nimble elite soldier. He's wearing light armor. It's sticking sort of through layers of ragged clothes, obviously trying to look inconspicuous. You can also see that he's wielding two short swords on two hilts on either side. And each of his forearms, which you can see through the rags, they're so tattered, are tattooed with thick black bands. He's got a very serious manner. It's pretty standoffish, always keeping an eye on Gemma.
The rest of everyone else in the caravan notices these tattoos on his arms, and they know those two represent the position of lowborn in the Imperial Army. We look over at Willa. Do you want to describe your character for us?
Yeah. So you see like a 6 foot tall, athletic, amethyst gem dragonborn with wide eyes. She's pretty confused, and she's not trying to hide it. Her head's kind of darting back and forth, looking at the environment. And she has purple scales. They slightly kind of reflect the sunlight. And the first thing that most people see are the 2 5-inch crystal horns that kind of curve back with the shape of her head. And at the tips of the horns, they're fragmented and magically hovering above the main portion. And in between the 2 horns, she has 5 similar smaller crystals kind of like inlaid into her head. And her hair that she has, it's naturally matching her scales. It's like a purple, a mixture of different purples, and it's pulled back into like a half ponytail with some braids. She's wearing brown leather armor, and under that you could tell she's kind of wearing some normal farmer clothing, with some green overalls that are kind of folded down. And we don't have our weapons, so you don't see her with our weapon quite yet. But yeah, she's looking around. She's kind of confused and just kind of looking and staring at everyone to see who they are.
Finally, we pan over to the last remaining person in this prisoner caravan. We see Razik, if you want to describe yourself.
I think initially you see a figure that's probably crouched on the opposite side that Gemma is, with a cloak pulled over his head. But from this sort of like seated cloaked position, he pulls back his hood, and you see a tall, bronze-skinned young man with short, choppy red hair and just really sharp, piercing green eyes. He's got a bunch of earrings on his ears, and wears a lot of like gold, like in the form of piercings and little loops on his ears. He's got a gray jacket with the sleeves rolled up, unbuttoned at the bottom to reveal a belt with a series of pouches. You might call it a rogue utility belt. Well, actually, I don't know if I have that, but I do have my redded hood mantle / cape that sits across my chest. and the cape itself is sort of stripped into tatters that sort of create a little motion when I move that sort of like misdirects the eye a little bit. I think I sit up and sort of stretch languidly, and I give you a big grin. Says, not always
Since
need
you-
weapons to defend ourselves. I mean,
Since you asked Gemma, why don't you go ahead and roll a survival check to see where you are. First roll of the game.
nice.
That's a
Nice.
17.
Excellent. The 17,
Strong
you very
start.
easily distinguish, indeed, very easily sort of distinguish that you're definitely on the Imperial Road, on the outskirts of the Golden Thicket, and based on the position of the sun, seems you're heading towards the Maple Crossroads, a big trade commerce town, probably a few hours out.
We're headed north towards the Maple Crossroads. I recognize this area. I sort of whisper to Anton. Where are they taking us?
We're going backwards, it seems.
Yes, I wonder where we're going in this prison wagon. You're quite astute.
Prison wagon.
I don't remember anything. Do you?
Certainly don't recognize this guy in the middle.
You get
What
a
was his
closer
name again?
look as you
The elf, what's his
Uh,
name again?
Sovamil.
Okay.
Sovamil. He introduces himself, says, I am Sovamil. Don Kier, just so we can get that on the record.
Yeah.
Tell me, so where do you hail from?
I hail from the
Don Kier.
Northern Sea. Northern Sea.
Any
No, I
idea
don't
where we
quite
are?
remember,
Why we're in here?
other than on the Imperial Roads to the Maple Crossroads. That's all that I can distinguish at this time. I don't recall getting into this caravan.
What about you, smirking man? You a criminal? He's not going to say anything.
Back.
Rob's back. Let's keep moving. We seem to have lost Rob for a moment. So you
So
kind of
what
look
about you?
around. Go ahead.
Sorry, what about you, Gem Dragon? Did you do something to get in here?
I'm a good person. I don't know why I'm in here. I was just walking along the road. I don't really know what's going on. And she like bangs on the metal next to her. She's like, "Hey, let us out of here!"
You see to the front of the caravan there are two Domaarian Imperial guards, sort of on the bench. They turn back. Hey, quiet!
Anton pulls his coat a little bit over
Did we
his
get disconnected?
face to disguise himself. Slumps down in the cage a little further.
Rob, are you back? Okay. Anyone else want to say anything at this time?
Gemma sort of tugs on Anton's coat and says, "What are we gonna do?
I don't know.
They can't find me."
We just have to wait for our moment.
She kind of also slumps down and pulls her hood a little bit closer around her face as well, in a sort of a feeble attempt to hide her identity, I guess.
Is there any structure to the cage that keeps us from leaping out? Is there a roof? How high is it? Are we chained?
Very much a barred cage on the back of this sort of wagon. As you're starting to sort of get more of your bearings and understand what's going on, there were the two guards on the bench of this caravan, and ahead, sort of leading the way, seems to be a more commanding officer. Especially Anton, you recognize that seems to be a higher ranking guard official, a veteran of sorts, on a horse leading the way. As you also begin to look around, a few of you clock an object approaching the caravan from the south, a humanoid galloping quickly behind you as the sound of horse steps upon the stones of the Imperial Road grows louder. The Domaarian soldier that's on the horse, separate from the caravan, quickly reaches around to the rear of the flank to flank the caravan and calls out, "Stay away, traveler. Imperial business." Seems to come over here. And a figure approaches. Hold on. As you see, whoop, sort of a figure on the horse approaches. The traveler, dressed in all black, slows the horse upon approach and removes a hood. You can see a female half-elf with Pangean heritage. She has jet black hair and bright green eyes. She replies, "Imperial business indeed. I've been sent by Captain Calrin to intercept and report on the status of your prisoners." She then confidently nudges her horse forward and begins to peek inside the cage and starts to make her way around, looking at each of you. The soldier on the horse says, "Right. Well, we have the girl and her little guardian and an Imperial deserter. We picked up that Pangean thief and the Dragonborn along the way. Same with the Sea Elf. Bringing them in for questioning. What's your name, miss?" By this point, the half-elf sort of made her way all the way around the entire group. It has sort of circled back and sort of halts close to the soldier. She stares at him for a moment and then whips back her cloak and pulls out a hand crossbow, which she aims directly at the soldier's head and fires. Going to go ahead and roll here.
And this is our opportunity.
This may be our moment.
Okay.
All right, guys, jail card
You all
breaks.
see-
Let's go.
You all see this happen, and the bolt pierces his eyeball. He flies back off of his horse with a shriek, landing in a puff of dust on the road. The other two soldiers halt the horse cart, and leap off their seat, and they have these spears. They draw these spears, and the half-elf suddenly dismounts, quickly unclips the keyring from her fumbling victim, the guard. She takes it and tosses it right to Razik. Razik, you catch it. She then, you do so easily. She tosses it right to you. She then draws a short sword toward the oncoming enemies. And we're going to go to our opening credits of Tales of Terramir.
Ooh.
Okay, I'm just letting you know for notes.
Yep. Okay, we're back. Everyone, roll initiative.
Okay.
Feeling good.
Just gotta fix a couple things on the
What's
on the
initiative?
tokens here for everyone. Just
Oh my gosh.
patience.
It's the race to our first nat 20.
All right.
Oh,
Get
yeah,
all
first
those
nat
ones
1 of the
out.
game. Thank you,
Yep,
Mike.
let's get them all out.
You taking that evil.
And we don't have our weapons on us, correct?
You do not currently have any weapons on you. You do, however, have your armor.
What armor?
Yeah. Well, if
It's
you have
very
any
nice of
armor,
the
yes.
girls.
If you have armor, yeah.
What
Yeah.
about
If you
spell
have
books and things of
armor,
that nature?
you just you have no. You really don't have anything other than what's on your back, your clothing, and if you have any armor, that's it. Yep.
Okay.
Open the
So,
gate,
like, if I had a
smiling
pocket
man.
full of shurikens, as we do.
Um,
No pocket full of shurikens is what
Mike.
I'm hearing.
You're good.
Mike, can you see everyone's health bars?
Yes.
Okay.
I do.
Let me roll for. Yep. Make sure you
Glad
have to
that
click on your
Sawmill,
token.
seems healthy.
Sorry, did I have to click on my token before I rolled initiative? Is that the problem?
Yes. Yep.
Yes, sir. You guys are killing it.
Okay.
Can he keep his 18?
You can keep your 18. I'll give it to you,
All
Anton.
right.
Good question.
He's our tank. So, get out there, buddy.
So at this point, we have rolled initiative. We're ready for combat. You see this hooded half-elf, sort of very mysterious figure who seems to have attacked the guard, the main guard in charge here. The two guards that were on the back of this caravan have jumped off with their spears, and they are approaching. The keys were thrown to you, Razik. But right now,
All
it's
right.
currently Anton's turn. Anton, is there anything that you want to do in this moment?
No, just want to tell. Razik, smiling man, don't delay. Open this thing right now, Tim.
Excellent. We will go to the veteran who is currently collapsed. Just has this crossbow bolt in his eye. He rips it out, tosses it to the side, and
he rips it out of his eye?
Yep, he stands up
Domaarian Knight.
and draws.
No joke.
He draws his sword and stands up. That's his turn for now. Razik, it's your turn. You have the keys.
All right. Razik, kind of surprised that guy pulled an arrow out of his eye. Is going to appreciate that for 1 second exactly. And is it going to be a use item interaction, or is it going to be a full action to open this thing?
It will require an action to do so. You can see that there are chains sort of around the bars of this,
right.
the doors of this caravan that open out.
Sort of nimbly
and you can see the lock.
Twist my hands around and like put the key in from the opposite direction that I am in, and hopefully I hear a satisfying click.
Because there are numerous keys, however,
No.
to make this a little fun, I need you to just sort of roll a dexterity check for me.
Steal those keys from the janitor.
That's a ring of keys.
All right, a 16.
Okay. With a 16, you are able to do it. You maneuver, and there's actually a couple keys. There's one you're like, no, that's not, that doesn't fit. And very, very quickly you're able to sort of hear that satisfying click, and you take off the lock. The chains sort of fall down, and you're able to open up the doors to the caravan. You still have a move action and a bonus action if there's anything that you want to do.
I will. I'm gonna go shoulder first through the door, land down in the dust on the road, but directly across from our mysterious savior. And bonus action, I manifest a purple blade of energy in my offhand, and I come from behind and try and hit their heels with it, with a 22 to hit.
Wow. Great.
It actually 24
hit.
since I have advantage.
Correct, you do, because you're flanking. You slide down and you summon this sort of psychic energy blade in your offhand, and you stab directly in the back of this veteran's back, dealing 9.
Right, sorry, I didn't roll sneak. Don't know why I didn't do that. It is checked.
So how much damage do you do?
Sorry, sneak isn't rolling for some reason. There we go. It's a 9 psychic and 8 sneak.
Total of 17 damage. You backstab this Imperial veteran in the back. He sort of swings around, holding his eye with his sword. And your psychic blade just kind of sinks right into him. And sort of describe, because there is no wound left behind, correct?
No. I just I cut through his heel, sort of, in like a cheap shot while he's distracted by our savior. Yeah.
Okay. Excellent.
Not in the face.
Okay. Does that end your turn, Razik?
Yep, that's the end of my turn.
Very important to stay away from the vitals when you're giving them a cheap shot.
Yeah. This half-elf, mysterious half-elf female, who has drawn her short sword, sees that you stab in the back and sort of kind of going into a position that kind of goes in sync with your fighting ability. She does a slash across with her short sword. With a 7, however, she misses, and the Imperial Guard sort of swings back around with the sword and blocks it. She goes around and tries to swing again. That time with a 22. So deflects, and then she comes back around and just slices right through the guy, dealing 7 piercing damage to him. See another kind of squirt of scarlet go across the stoned of the road, just sort of spray across there. This guy's just getting completely beat up, but he's still standing. We go to Willa. The
I like this lady.
gates of this caravan have now opened up, Willa, and you're able to escape.
Ooh, okay. Willa is gonna go ahead and run out. She's kind of frantic, very confused, and then she runs up in front of the person who seems to be the captain, and she says, "Look, sir, this must all just be a misunderstanding. I don't know why I was in that caravan. I didn't do any harm. I don't know why everyone's attacking.
not
Like,
too
we
late.
can all just talk this out, right?" And then she kind of holds readies an unarmed strike for later.
Okay, she sort of readies herself. I did mean to say, and I will give this to you. This was my mistake, but at the end of the half elf's turn, she does scream out, "Your equipment! It's underneath the gate!" And as you sort of step out, you can see there is a sort of chest, sort of nailed to the bottom of the crate, where the doors kind of swing out. So sort of right at the doors here, there's sort of a chest underneath it that can open up, basically telling you that's where your weapons are. So with having known that, I'll let you modify your turn a little bit there, if you want to do anything else with that knowledge.
Yeah, can I say that she
Or you
pulled
good?
out her weapon really quickly on her way over?
It will take an action to sort of open that chest up. But then you
Okay.
can take your weapon out and be ready for next turn if you want.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Okay, cool. Do you want to move back over there?
So she would have grabbed her maul and done the same thing. She would have ran in front of the guy and been like, "Please, please."
Don't make me use
Gotcha.
this.
Perfect. So maybe use the stove. Okay, that's what they, yeah. Okay, great.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. This guard over here, if I can swing him around, a low ranked Imperial guard, hey, starts running towards everyone. Comes up to this position here and attempts to stab Razik with the spear. With a 21. That will hit you, right, Razik?
I'm sorry, what did you roll?
21.
Yeah, that's gonna hit.
So it does pierce you for 7 piercing damage.
All right.
It goes, oi! Stabs you.
Ah!
And it goes to Gemma. It's your turn.
After it does, can I use my reaction?
Yeah.
After it stabs me, I think the air around it begins to ripple, and it is blasted by an invisible force of telekinetic power. I need it to make a what is my proficiency bonus? That is 8 plus 5 plus 2, so 8 plus 2, so 10 plus ability modifier, so 14. I think I need it to make a 8 plus 10 plus. No, I lied. That's a 12. I need you to make a DC 12 save. As I use
What kind of save? What kind of
my
save?
gift, my cultural blessing.
The gift of the dragon. Of the
It's a
gem
strength
dragon.
save.
Yes.
Yeah, strength save. Sorry.
Strength save. Okay. Nice. Gets a 15.
All right, he makes it.
What was your DC? 14? All right.
Yeah, it's 12. It's 12.
Oh, 12. Okay. So he sort of resists. You see him start to almost even skid back a little bit from this pulsive psychic energy and stands firm. And just, you actually see this look of complete shock in his face, Razik. Magic.
You
It's
actually
magic.
take half.
Okay.
It's actually telekinesis. That's very offensive in my culture. I say with a smirk as he takes 7 psychic damage, regardless of his save.
He seems actually very hurt from that. You can see he takes the damage from that, and you just see him like sort of a look of fear and shock as he's just sort of holding this spear out at you. Now it goes to Gemma.
Gemma is still she's disoriented by everything going around her. She's gonna kind of corner herself in the cage, and I think she's gonna take her action to I guess it would be like a hide action. I don't know.
Mhm.
Is that okay? Just sort of
Yeah.
like kind of make herself small in the back of the cage. She doesn't want to get out there and engage or anything like that. I was just gonna take
go
the
ahead.
hide action as something,
Yeah, you can attempt to hide. Sure. Roll a stealth check for me, please.
That's a 15.
15. Okay. Anything else you want to do with your turn? That's your action.
No, I don't want to do anything else. I did want to point out that Silvermill is not in turn order, if that matters.
It does, and I was just going to say that.
Okay.
Thank you.
Great.
I will add him to initiative. The benefits of playing live. Boom, 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 boom. Okay, cool.
He is also shocked
and
out of turn.
Yeah. I will have him actually just go after you since we had skipped him. And then we'll put him back in turn order after that. So, Gemma, your turn is over. It is now
Like that.
Salvamel. You see the sea elf sort of seeing all this happen, pulls out this necklace from underneath his sort of seashell mixture of armor, seashells mixed with leather and pieces of metal. Takes out this necklace, and you can see the symbol on it. He takes it, and he sort of does a prayer and casts bless onto Anton, Razik, and Willa. You are now blessed.
Nice.
Does that give us advantage?
So what that does is you get on attack rolls and saving throws, you can roll a d4 to add to those. So you can roll a d4 and add those to your attack rolls or saving throws. Okay. So he is concentrating on that. If you want to mark on your token that you are blessed, just click it and assign it one of the tokens there, just so you remember.
Do we have a standardized token?
Not currently, but first one who picks one is going to be the. If you want to do the angel wings or the halo, your choice. That's going to be Silvamil's turn. It's going to go to this other guard over here on the other side. He's going to come over here and come straight forward and try and charge at this half-elf with his spear. That's a 21. That will hit her. Rolling damage. That's going to be 4 piercing damage to this mysterious figure. And it goes to Anton. Anton, it is your turn.
Okay. All right. This is it. He jumps out.
And also, sorry, real quickly, in this moment, you do feel this sort of surge of this energy, this sort of radiant energy sort of into your body as you feel blessed. and you feel psyched for combat as you move out and get out of the caravan.
Okay. All right. So he nimbly opens the cage, the chest, and removes 2 short swords. Keeps them both in his hands. So that's one action. Now I get a bonus action, right?
Correct. You do have a bonus
All right.
action.
And that would be to, I guess, move up to this guy and flank him.
You can
You
move
don't
there. Yeah.
spend a second to like dramatically look at your swords and aren't like, I'm back, baby. I'm thinking I'm back.
Kiss the hilt.
Yeah, you get your swords back. Do a spin with move forward, and you do have you did your move. You still have your bonus action if you want to.
Right.
Something
So
with
I'm
that.
gonna swing at the soldier with my short sword.
Okay, with your offhand. Oh, very nice. What'd you
Right.
get there? You got a
I got a
Got a crit.
25.
critical hit with a total of 25. Very nice first attack roll there for Anton. Go ahead and roll damage.
First nat 20 of the game, right? Nice.
Hell yeah. So you just attacked again. Make sure you click the short sword in the chat, and that'll roll your damage for you.
Oh yeah, sorry.
All good. It's double dice, baby. So you get a 7, 8, 9, 10,
12.
12. Thank you. Bad at math. 12 piercing damage. Awesome. Describe how you.
So I slash at him with the sword sort of against my forearm like this, and as I do, I say, "I thought I taught you people better."
As you do so, you slice across him, and you can see there's already been a wound there through almost partially through the armor that was done from the mysterious figure. And you cut right through it again, and he's just holding his eye. It's just in pain at this point, but he's still standing. He's a tough guy. He's a very tough guy. That's going to end your turn, Anton. It's going to go to this veteran who you just attacked. He is going to retaliate and attack you back. Going to attack twice with his long sword. First one is an 11. What's your AC?
16.
16. You deflect it.
Nice try.
And he goes back with another one. With a 9. Did you parry that one as well? You deflect it and sort of just left standing there, sort of desperate at this point. Razik, it's your turn.
You're already dead. Sorry, I'm getting shit talk.
Appear teleports behind you. Sorry, kid. Nothing personal. That said, I am going to teleport behind him. No, I'm going to step behind him. The same guy I cut the heel of, yet there appeared to be no physical damage to his body or his clothing. I do like a little spin move and kind of like placing myself behind the guard in front of Willa. Just kind of come with my primary blade and stab him from behind. Again, just a purplish translucent blade of pure energy and force that I'm going to use my strange new divine power on. And I'm going to harness my bless for this. As I make an attack at advantage. 22.
22. And he is bloodied, so you do hit
right.
and roll damage. And you have advantage.
And then you can just apply bless one time, right? During a turn? Like
per turn.
Or can you apply it to everything?
Actually, I
gotcha,
believe.
gotcha. So I
I
could
think
have
that's what
applied it
makes
to
bless
the
super.
attack or the damage.
It's not damage.
No,
it's
it
just
doesn't
your
go to
attack.
damage. It's just attack roll,
Okay, cool.
Your attacks are
and it does
saved.
apply to all things
So-
that turn, as long as it's attack rolls and saving throws.
I do psychic, and it is not rolling my sneak for some reason, but I will press it. And it'll show up when it wants to. So I deal, with a 22 to hit, I deal 6 psychic damage plus my sneak. Whenever that decides to generate, I will just roll 2d6.
Go for it.
Plus 5. So 11. So 6 psychic, 5 sneak damage. As I stab him with my primary bladed hand. Is he still up?
He's still up, but barely clinging on as he's very bloodied, still holding his eye, partially trying to hold his guts in and holding his sword out. Stay back! Stay back!
Again, attacking with advantage with my bonus action. I'm going to stab with a newly manifested blade as the previous one disappears. And I'm going to do like a Assassin's Creed style Requiescat Campace and like just stab him in the liver. No sneak on that bad boy, but I do deal 9 psychic damage.
The 21 to hit, you deal another 9 psychic. And at this point, he is barely clinging to life. As you see him almost like halt and just sort of in a daze, is just standing there, just barely clinging on to life. But that is your turn, Razik. It does go to the mysterious rescuer here, who at this point sees that this guy is barely clinging on, and she goes to attack with her short sword against him, and rolled a nat 1. So I will roll a D100 to see if she holds on to her weapon or drops it. With a 59, she
That's gotta be
does
really
hold on to
embarrassing.
her weapon. Sort of slipping and losing her balance, she almost moves forward and just sort of misses completely and almost loses her sword before grabbing it and then turning towards the other guard and tries to swing at him. With that will be a 7, and the guard deflects it. She seemed to have lost her balance, didn't seem to be able to make contact on that one.
She's just distracted from all of Razik's amazing banter, I think. What's going on?
Banter and weird psychic weapons.
You've never heard banter like this.
Anton kissing his weapons and a bunch of shit's going on.
Willa, it is your turn.
Willa, with her copper maul in hand, she kind of looks around. She's like, "Are you all crazy? This is an Imperial Guard." And she like goes, and she's like, "I'm so sorry. This is the only way." And she swings her maul at the captain in front of her for non-lethal damage.
Non-lethal, excellent, very nice. With your blast, for sure, you get a 25 total. You hit. Go ahead and roll your non-lethal damage.
All right, 9.
9 bludgeoning. How do you knock out this guy?
She turns them all around to like the little tiny end of the stick, and she just kind of like bonks him on the head real quick.
That's the last thing he needed, and just takes that, and you can see that it wasn't enough to deal the final blow, but it was enough to knock him out. He collapses to the ground. Prone.
Razik
Are you
is
kidding
going to
me?
look at her with like a raised eyebrow. Like, are you going to let this guy live? Like,
Let's just talk it out, guys. Let's talk it out.
It's perfect.
That's
Kill him while
one
he's
move I've never
unconscious.
seen before.
It immediately goes to this guard behind Anton, who will try and strike him with the spear. He gets a
Do
20.
your worst.
Dirty 20 to stab. Believe that hits your AC, correct, Anton?
Yep. 16.
That will be 7 piercing damage to you. And it goes to Gemma.
Gemma's gonna scramble up to the front here and grab her her hand axe and her dagger and run up behind this guy right here. It's is that a whole action since the lid was already open? Is that a whole action to pull the weapon, pick up the weapons?
It will be an action to grab a weapon. Yeah.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Then she will run over here behind Anton, or not behind Anton, behind this guard that just struck Anton. Try to sneak up behind him, and I guess that's an action, and that's it.
If you want to sneak, go ahead and roll stealth for me, please.
Okay, I'll do that again. See if he can be distracted enough. 12 on the stealth.
Okay. Nothing happens at the time, but you do move behind him, trying to sneak behind him, and that's your turn.
Okay.
Okay. Unless there's anything you want to do for your bonus action.
Nope.
Nope. Okay. Sovamil, who sees all of this happen too, stays in position,
Our
cross-legged,
favorite.
holding on to this medallion, and seems to hold out his hand and say another prayer, and then focus on the guard that's in front of you, Gemma, and casts Sacred Flame. The guard will need to make a dexterity saving throw. I'm going to roll for that. The guard got a nat 1 with a total of 2, so failed that. The guard takes 7 radiant damage, and you instantly see this person in front of you, Gemma, just gets consumed in this sort of white radiant flame, and just collapse to the ground, dead.
Oh, dead.
Not bad, Preacher. See, Preacher gets it. I say to Will. Can't leave any witnesses.
That's going to be Sovamil's turn. It's going to be this guard who's going to point his spear and try and stab you, Willa. I got a nat 20 for a total of 23.
Oof.
I see that about to happen, and almost instinctually, Gemma reaches out her hands and tries to almost swat it away as she casts silvery barbs to make him re-roll it again, which will also, I guess, cause an effect. But do you want to roll the attack again first?
Let me go ahead and do that. Yep. Using your reaction seems to make this guard slip and gets a 6 instead to attack. Missing Willa.
Diverting that attack using that sort of momentum, she gives Anton advantage on his next attack roll. But the magic, like, sort of coursing through her causes her to, like, have this uncontrollable like surge inside of her, and she I don't know what that does.
Was it lower or higher? I can't remember.
It's a 2. It's a 2.
Why don't you look up real quick if that's
Okay.
if that
All right.
causes the
Are you
effect
just
or
like
not.
glowing and vibrating right now? Or are you just like, no? You're just
She's
like,
having a little bit of a
laser
difficult
light
time with that. It says if I roll a 1 on it, but we had other conversations about whether it's
We had
just
talked
one.
about.
Yeah.
I think that will, since it's a 2, will cause the effect.
Okay. You want me to roll on that?
Nope, I got the table, so
Oh, okay.
just need you to activate it, and I've got a table set up here. A random creature within 60 feet of you becomes poisoned for 1d4 hours.
So after she
We
casts that,
have
she has like a burst
Go
of
ahead.
And we see this
magical
happening,
energy.
right?
She can't seem to control it, and it just surges out of her body, and it hits a random person in the vicinity.
I have a system that we're going to do for this. But go ahead and roll a d8 for me, and minus 1. So d8 minus 1.
-1, so 0.
If you poison one of those poor horses, I swear.
Does that work for your
You
system?
actually, it
It's
does.
messed up.
You send it towards Silvermill. Actually, describe what happens with your magic, Gemma, as this pulse of energy comes out and
just this uncontrollable feeling of power coming out of her. She doesn't know what to do, and she like instinctually tries to swat it away, but it kind of directs it towards the right and hits Silvermill in the path of the blast. And she's like trying to regain her senses as it sort of like calms back down. The power sort of like settles back down on her.
you instinctually kind of see this energy deflect into the caravan and sort of bounce around and hit Silvermill. And he goes, "What the fuck, man?" Oh, he suddenly gets really sick as he looks. He's poisoned for 4 hours. How do you react to that, Gemma?
She can't really. She's kind of trying to keep herself steady because she's still reeling from the surge of power coming from her.
All right. That actually, it was the guard's turn. You did your reaction, so that's the end of the guard. It goes to Anton now.
And you have advantage on your attack, dude.
Right.
And this guy in front of you is unconscious.
Yeah. Can I stand on him? Can I stand on his unconscious body?
You can stand over him. You can stand over him.
All right. So
It's quite disrespectful, but yes.
I place my foot directly on one foot on his face and one foot on his chest. And I start to do this sort of whirlwind maneuver with my 2 swords, and then take a slash at the guard. For
20 hits. Go ahead and roll damage for that first attack.
It's 5 piercing damage.
5 piercing.
Right. So
Okay.
then and then I come at him with the other sword from this room. Awesome. That's a 12.
So that's actually a 6. I don't know why you're getting an advantage.
It's a Jenna. Advantage?
It's just on the first.
Oh, only on
Oh,
the
it's
first attack.
first.
Yeah.
Gotcha. You said that.
All good,
All right.
but you are blessed, so you can add a d4 to that if you want
Okay. I will.
to roll a d4.
You could
So
also step
that's-
around me and then flank with our other lady because you haven't moved really.
Too late now.
You can move through me and yeah.
I'm
sorry.
not flanking him. I thought I was standing over the guard right next to him.
No, you
Go
would
ahead and roll a
be.
D4
You would have
for
to be
your
on the other side,
roll.
but
Oh, I see. I see.
attack from the side. Yeah.
Okay. So, yeah. So that hits then. 10.
You got to roll a d4 to see if you
Oh,
hit
I
with
see.
your blessed. So that added 2 to the 6, so it's a total of 8, and that misses. So you did hit with your first attack, you just missed with your offhand. And he seems bloodied from that attack. Pretty hurt, but he's still up. That's going to end your turn, Anton, unless you want to do any more movement.
Yeah, I'm going to flank him.
So you have to be across from your ally directly across if you want to flank. So if you want to move
Oh,
here,
I see. Yeah, so up here.
or that works too. Yeah,
Yeah.
there or there. Depends on the ally you want to flank with.
Yeah, he steps off. He steps off of the face of the fallen one-eyed soldier.
Great. Okay, we're going to move on to the veteran now, who is unconscious, so can't do anything. It's going to go to Razik. One guy left, standing, bloodied. What are you doing?
What am I gonna do? Razik looks at Gemma with a newfound sort of like curiosity fear. And he says, "You're a mage," and he's going to kind of just casually sweep a psychic blade that he manifests through the remaining figure with his dominant hand. A 17 hit.
17 hits.
All right. That's my sneak attack rolls. I'll have that too.
How do you do it, Razik?
Lethally. I stab him through.
Very clear. Just want to make this very clear.
And
lethally.
As the blade sort of like pierces his skin, I withdraw it, and I think Willa and Anton probably see that there's no marks on the clothing to indicate that anything had happened. As the blade dissipates and he falls over dead, and I stare at Gemma. And it's like, this is all beginning to make a bit more sense.
We will end combat there, as you're left with 2 dead guards and 1 unconscious but bleeding Domaarian veteran guard.
You get a critical if we stab him now. I'm just kidding. Oh, hey, no one.
Gemma, what's that dark look in your eye? You become.
Can we slap him? Can we slap him on the cheeks?
You can do whatever you want to right now. He's unconscious.
Can we try to wake him up?
Razik gives him a little kick. Gives him a little kick. I'm gonna try and approach the horse quietly. I'm got my eye on the prize. I'd like to try and kind of calm the horses, who I imagine are a little intimidated by all the bloodshed that just happened. I'm going to do that, despite the fact that they're not saying anything. I'm going to.
Well, they can. You can tell that they're. You can tell that they're stirred. Kind of moving nervously. Go ahead and roll an animal handling check for me, Razik.
I will.
The horse seems to back away even further from you, nervously, and actually takes off.
It's going to make it. No, I was gonna. I'm not sure if it makes any bit of a difference, but I was going to use one of my. No, it's only a D8, I think. But I was going to use one of my psionic energy dice to try and boost my check. So I think that I can use a D6 to make that up to 10. So hopefully it doesn't, flee. Never mind. So it ends up being a 7.
Yeah. Unfortunately, you do try and seek out with your psychic energy, and you feel like you get a little bit closer to it, but it's too spooked, especially by its master that seems to be unconscious, and just takes off to the woods.
Gemma's gonna
crawl sort of the cage and kind of like try to steady herself and try to stand back up, trying to recover from the wild, the magic surge.
Okay. This mysterious figure quickly moves towards you, Razik. And she comes towards
Are we
you.
talking
and she
aggressively?
moves,
Like, what kind of stance?
like in a mission, moves towards you, and from her pocket removes this small stone, and you instantly recognize the symbol that's carved into it. You see the Ouroboros snake, the twisting snake, the symbol of the Pangean nation on the stone. And she hands it to you and goes, "Confirm with Ankets I rescued you. So I get paid." Hands you the stone.
What was that about getting paid?
"Confirm with Alan Ketz," she says. A person that you know as one of your contacts through your network. Basically telling you, confirm that you have been rescued so she can get paid by
Thank
talking
you.
into the stone.
I'll take the stone from her. Yeah.
Well, talk into
I'll
it.
take the gem from her. Or the stone. Oh, talk into it.
Confirm with him. Talk to him.
All right, I do. I reach out.
What do you say?
Hello. Razik here.
Do you copy?
You sort of get the sense that in your mind you're making a connection to the stone and it's transferring to another place. And you feel like you only have a limited time or amount of words that you can speak before the connection is lost.
Razik here. I think I botched a job, but I will endure for the motherland.
She goes, "Mention me, I'm Alfira. Alfira, Ravenwing rescued you."
Oh yeah, and this Alfira rescued me or whatever.
She
I'm very
takes the
grateful.
stone out of your hand. Takes the stone out of your hand. Yeah, good. Puts it in her pocket. She goes, "Listen,
I did mean it. Thank you, by the way.
you're welcome. Now, you all have been rescued from a terrible fate. The whatever message from Captain Calran that I was pretending to be getting commands from, the leader there that lies unconscious, I'm sure has a letter to the leaders of the Maple Crossroads. It hasn't reached the place yet, so as of right now, you're not wanted, at least in this circle. I recommend you go to town. It's a few hours north. Make yourselves comfortable before nightfall. And best of luck." She goes over to her horse and starts to mount the horse.
Wait, I've never worked in a team dynamic before.
Well, we all have first experiences.
I work alone.
Best of luck. She gets up onto the horse and turns it around. Yeah, and takes off back down the road to the south where she came from.
She says that the captain had orders on us.
Saying that the captain probably had orders on you, and it has not yet reached the town, clearly, as you stopped it.
So I kneel down and reach around in his coat to see if I feel anything.
Go ahead and roll an investigation check. Yeah, Anton, you, with the 17 investigation, you you find a rolled up piece of parchment in his pocket, along with 20 imperial silver pieces, 5 imperial gold pieces, and this letter. If anyone wants to keep track of party treasure.
I can keep track of that stuff.
Thank
Okay.
you, Mike.
So I take some
Anton,
coins
do you-
out. I take his coin purse out and I throw it to Gemma.
I run. I just take off. It's mine.
And that's it.
Rezik be like,
Thanks,
"All right,
Mike, for
bye."
joining the campaign.
I'm rich.
That was
I'm outta here.
great.
I take the horse.
That was it.
Kicks
Hope you're
over.
ready
now.
to split the party for 18 episodes.
It's been very good.
And it comes of age.
Yeah.
She appears at the final battle with like a scar across her face or something. To show
What's it
that someone's
say?
passed.
So we read the parchment, which I assume is soaked with blood.
There are splatters of blood, but you do unroll it. And you can see that it's to Lady Gilkis Yargerit. I'll post that in the chat. Lady Gilkis Yargerit, who is the leader of the Maple Crossroads. They are orders from Imperial Captain Gerald Calloran to carry out the execution of the deserter known as Anton Darghost and any of his accomplices.
Looks like you are all collateral damage. So I apologize, but we're in this together now. They were after me.
They were after you? So these 3 guys are dead because of what did you do?
It's not important. All I can tell you is that these used to be my comrades. They're not anymore. And another thing I can say is that there's no need to interrogate this one-eyed fool any longer. So either we leave him here to die or we run him through now. Up to you.
Well, I have not killed anyone before, and I don't intend to start today. So I'll
It's not
leave
that
that
bad.
to you.
You get used
As
to it.
evidenced by your tiny forehead tap with your little hammer, which I've never seen before. It's quite some move. What's your name?
You're talking to me?
What's your name, Gem Dragon?
I'm Willa Catawhistle. And what's yours?
My name's Anton. Anton Darghost.
Gemma says, Anton, we have to go. We can't stay here.
She's right.
Razak kind of saunters over. It's like, you guys tell everyone on the roads who you are? It's no wonder you got caught. Tell me, Sovmil, what's your story? You've been awfully quiet here, holy man.
At this point, he steps out of the caravan, stretches his back and legs. My story is not
You're looking
the
pretty
one I want to
green.
tell.
That's right.
It's a bit
It's
racist.
got vomit. I think it's a vomit.
I'm poisoned, I think, apparently, to this mage. Thank you. Kind of looks at Gemma. I also thought you meant my skin. I'm a sea elf, but yeah, anyway.
Here's an accident. I'm sorry.
No, we're a pretty diverse group.
Listen, I don't think we should take our time around here anymore. I think we should probably continue on from this site and go to town. It will be nightfall soon. A few hours. I think it will take a couple more hours to get to this town, Maple Crossroads, find some rest there and figure out what we're doing next.
Is it a 2-hour walk or a 2-hour ride if we steal this prison wagon?
Well, how
More or less the
far?
same.
Could I tell that? Could I tell how far it is, having frequented this area a bit? Like how far we are from?
You're pretty close. You're about a few hours out from by horse or walk. Be about the same distance.
We should probably pull this off to the side of the road. We don't want to get caught with this.
Yeah, I agree. And Razik starts dragging the nearest body off into the bushes to conceal it. I want to take the one that Anton's by. I just want to drag it off into the bushes while they're debating about what to do.
Can I
I'll do the same with the other
conceal
one.
that one?
Lead the horse out to the sign?
Yep. So this is sort of ingrained into the map currently, but you can
My immersion is totally.
imagine that the horse is being dragged off to the side. What do you do with the horse? You dragging off the cart off to the side and
Just
then...
so that the cart and the horse are sort of sight unseen off to the the thicker part of the woods off the road, and then detach the horse from the cart and let it go. So
Slap
that
on the ass.
How I would
Go home, Betsy.
Yeah.
Slap it. You do so in the horse.
I'm gonna drag the Cyclops off into the bushes. Let him go.
Okay, he's still unconscious. Do you get rid of the other body?
Make yourself useful,
body
Spider-Man.
here?
Yeah, that I did.
Okay.
I said I
Yeah,
dragged
you
it
already
off to
dragged.
the other side. Like one body over here, one body over here.
Yep.
Then after
Gem
that, I turn to
Dragon.
Willa and I give her a slight bow. And I say, Lady Gem Dragon, if you wish that the foolish slaver live, so be it.
Well, I'm
I
not
respect your
really
decision.
one to kill people, but now that I look around and she sees Gemma and Gemma looks young, right? She's like a younger girl. She's like, I'm a little confused at why they would take a young girl. So I'll let you guys decide that.
Did you see Sovamel? He looks awful. Look what she did to him. I motioned from Gemma to the even greener looking sea elf to Gemma to the greener looking sea elf.
Somehow
She did this.
still sounds racist.
That's what's gonna happen. He's slightly.
He looks a
greener
little
than he
green
should
around
be.
the gills.
This is an abomination.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
He kind of
That's pretty good.
he kind of pukes in his mouth a little bit and swallows it. Oh, let's keep moving, please. Oh.
All right. Well, you can tag along with us just because you look so sad. I say to Gemma, but I got my eyes on you.
What do you
Alright,
do with
who's driving this
remaining body?
this horse?
Well, what are you doing with the remaining body?
The least you can do is drag it off the road.
Well, that's the conscious one, right? Or
Unconscious.
the still alive one?
I dragged him
Mhm.
and just left him in the bushes.
Mhm.
Okay.
We should probably. Does anyone have any rope? We should probably bind this guy.
You do have all your materials and equipment that are in that chest underneath the caravan. So if anyone has rope,
Time
You
up,
can
Gem
use that.
Dragon. You're the one who knocked them out.
I do. I have some hempen rope. I'm gonna tie up I'll tie up his arms. I'll leave his legs untied, but I will tie up his arms.
All 50 feet of hempen rope.
I will use approximately 5 feet of hempen rope.
Rope cocoon.
I will specifically write that I have 45 feet left.
Okay.
I have honor.
You cut off 5
Candinos
feet, and
have honor.
He does the measuring. Like,
so you're
And
gonna tie up.
I have some ball bearings in my pocket, and I put some in his mouth, and then I kind of
Okay.
settle down, Razak. Okay.
take the gold pieces.
Settle down. Just tie him up and drag him off the side of the road. Let's not overthink this.
All right, Gemma. Pretty bossy.
No,
We
that's
hide 'em.
that's Mike, the player. All bearings. Dude's mouth.
No, Gemma, you're pretty sounding pretty abrasive, Gemma. Car's not looking off to a good start.
Okay, so you tie him up.
All right,
and
who's
you leave
driving
him.
this puppy?
There's nothing to drive. You drew the cart off to the side and let the horse go. So it looks like you're on foot.
All right. Well,
So if you guys want to collect yourselves here and figure out sort of what order you're marching in, Silvermill sort of starts making his way that way. If you want to gather yourselves around him.
I'll follow the sick man for now.
I guess I will. I was gonna say we should write like a letter saying like this is from the like Hill Dwarf gang. Don't step into our hood anymore.
Misdirection.
Just trying to prank somebody.
I'm pretty sure he's gonna know who it was when he wakes up.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, no, that's. But I'm deferring to the honorable gem dragon lady.
So
I
the
assume is
mill
quite wise.
says, hold on, before we go, I think this might actually help if I try this. He leans down, and you can tell he's very weak from the poison. Gets down on one knee, holds on to his amulet, and says a very quiet prayer. And suddenly you see this sort of bluish light come out from between his hands, as if it's shining, this bright light shining between his knuckles and his fingers. And after a moment passes, shakes it off. He casts Lesser Restoration, and he is no longer poisoned. And he goes, Quathalia has blessed me in many ways. Goddess of healing, blesses all who worships her. And from there we
So
will
even
go
the healing magics are forbidden in the Empire?
only the arcane arts are forbidden, and the worship of any deities outside of the deities of light.
Gotcha.
Many of you know that Quathalia is one of the deities of light.
Gotcha.
Goddess of water and healing. Seems to be a very devout follower. So divine magic is very much appreciated here, but not arcane magic. And with that, we're going to go ahead and go to our break for the stream. We're going to take a 10-minute break. So we'll be back then. Thank you all for watching up to this point. We've got a really fun second half coming up. So we'll see you in 10 minutes.
We're back.
Welcome back, everyone. Yeah, thank you for hanging in. For those who stuck through the break, we are back, and for our second half. By the way, we typically will end around 10:30 Eastern time, so about another hour from now. Sort of the timeline we're going for, but who knows what happens in that time, what shenanigans we find ourselves in. But we are on our way to the Maple Crossroads. When we last left off, you were prisoners in a caravan. Um, Many of you unsure how you got in that position, but you awoke to find yourselves prisoners, and this mysterious figure, this half elf with Pangenian heritage, seemed to rescue you under some sort of contract, uh, and had Razik communicate that through a sending stone that she had rescued you all, and so she could get paid, and she left. Um, you were also traveling with the sea elf, who was a prisoner with you, and you're all sort of just trying to make your way to town before the sun sets to figure out what is your next steps. A few hours along the road of the Imperial Road, the sun begins to set, and you rising from the intersection of the well-known Imperial Road that runs from the capital of New Domar to the Ember Rim Mountains, as well as the Kilton route, which runs from Edgetown to the northeastern fishing village of Ravenbane. You find yourselves before the Maple Crossroads, a major hub of trading and commerce for the Domaarian Empire. It is surrounded by a large wall of logs imported from the nearby Golden Thicket. It is also guarded by a number of watchtowers along its entrances by Imperial soldiers, but it is nonetheless a welcome sight to behold, as you all are exhausted, hungry, and it's nice to see some civilization. As the summer sun begins to dip below the distant mountains, various townsfolk can be seen removing the bright decorations from the day's high summer celebrations. Um, High summer is very much a well-known continental holiday celebrating the height of summer, um, usually associated with the god Taitar, which is the god of day, sun, growth. Um, so it has a lot of spiritual and religious connection, but it's usually a fun holiday of celebrating the sun and the summer. And you can see that these celebrations, these decorations for the celebrations, are starting to be taken down from various townsfolk as you approach this Maple Crossroads, and you can see at the same time there are others who are tending to lighting various street lamps and torches as becomes twilight. Um, you can see now this map before you of the Maple Crossroads. You are approaching from the southeast here along the Imperial Road. And you look like just a group of travelers. What it's up to you where you'd like to go, what you would like to do.
Before we go in, can I, as we're like sort of approaching the Maple Crossroads, I want to kind of pull Anton aside while we're kind of walking, and I want to ask him. I say, I thought those guys, I thought the orders were for me, but they were for you. What did you do?
All I can say is that I have a soft spot for vulnerable young people.
I'm sorry, you're a little low, dude.
Attacked.
Yeah, you're a little low.
All I can tell you is I've got a soft spot for vulnerable young people who are attacked by ruthless soldiers. I don't like bullies.
Well, you said you'd protect me, but how do I know I can trust you? How do we know we're not going to get caught for other people trying to catch up with you?
But as far as trusting me, I don't know what choice you have. As far as getting caught, stay behind me. You're gonna be okay.
And she kind of
Oh.
nods quietly.
Oh.
I come here often. I don't want to get recognized.
Well, you're good. Cover your eyes.
Just kind of stay low, kind of lay low and close, sort of like behind them as we go in.
Anton pulls his rags up, makes sure his armor's covered. All right, smiling man. Try not to make too many jokes while we're in town. We don't want to attract attention.
You enter and you can
Oh, am I
see
smiling
the
man?
You're smiling man.
yeah.
I mean, I do have
Someone hashtag
a
that.
pretty shitty grin on my face.
You can see Selvamel also seems to sort of collect himself a bit more. Although he is an elf, he stands out compared to other people around. As you approach, you can see that the town is, like most of the Empire, very much occupied by mainly humans, elves, half-elves, halflings. Those are the main races. But even as an elf, he kind of stands out as a sea elf. Sort of bluish green skin, sort of puts up the hood a little bit, and he goes, perhaps we should find an inn or tavern place to stay. I don't want to really make myself known here.
I think I know where one is in town.
As you're kind of entering the main gates from where you were coming from, because that looks like a place. You peer you in. Maybe check that place out. Unless you want to go
Alright.
anywhere else, it's up to you.
Is there anywhere else?
Hmm.
Do I know of any place in town?
Make an intelligence check.
Okay. Straight intelligence.
Is this just for the locals? Because I don't know my ass for my eyebrows over here.
Apparently, I
Just
don't
for
either. That's
Gemma.
a 6.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm still frazzled.
I will say, Gemma,
Well, it
you
looks
do
like
know.
general, peasant stuff. Some nicer buildings, I suppose.
Gemma, you know that there's sort of like an ongoing thing with the Maple Crossroads that there hasn't really been a really good inn here, other than this one, which is fairly new and seems to be the most decent place around. There are other like homes and places that you can hang your hat and sleep at, but this is like the first sort of quality inn, and it's pretty new. You kind of heard of it. But that's all you really know.
Well, I don't normally
laughed at the
stay in
quality
town.
inn. It's the first quality inn. It's the prototypical quality inn.
I don't normally stay in town whenever I visit. But I hear that place is all right. Seems nice. I don't know if I can
Well,
afford it.
Probably a good place to pick up rumors. Could use a little bit of info.
Yeah, that's
I
as
say
good
we
a place
slip
as
in.
any to
Can I
me.
go out on a limb here?
Go ahead,
Guys,
Smiling
can I
Man.
go out on a limb here and ask you to go out on a limb for me?
What's your limb, Razek?
That's an actual question. He reaches out his hands and he's like, can you form a circle with me and hold hands for a second? And we'll act like we're praying.
So Mel goes, "This is
And he
weird.
holds
I
out his
don't
hands.
understand what we're doing here."
Oh, yeah, no, you're not
okay.
invited. Don't worry. Yeah, you don't need to do this.
Uh,
You don't need to do this. You're fine.
Uh,
I respect your autonomy, brother.
Oh, that seems. Now I feel left out.
But the rest of us are going
Okay.
to I'm not going to put you in any danger, friend, because we might need your healing eventually. But I would like to establish a connection between us.
What kind
With
of
your consent, of course. I know that you non-Pangenans are a little bit weird about these sort of things.
Tell us your end game, Smelly Man.
So I ask again, will you take my hand?
Tom, I don't feel comfortable.
This
Smelly
might not
Man.
be the best place to do it with, all the sparkle stuff going on around this group. If you know what I mean. Maybe inside the inn.
Tell us what you're after.
All right. Well, I don't really have to take your hand. I just wanted to do it as a symbolic way to signify what I was doing. But I'll go ahead and just and you feel a presence enter your mind. I get 7 people, I believe, as I use my psionic power to establish a
Oh,
psychic connection.
you leave me out. Okay, I see how it is. Fine.
To establish telepathic communication
You get
between
7
yourself
people
and
you
others,
choose
perfect
for,
for
and
quiet
not me.
infiltration.
Can you reject
And
that?
action, choose. Okay, you can be in. You can be in. All right. There's no time limit. You get on in here. I just didn't want you to die.
Do
You seem really
you
important.
I mean, I'm
Do you
not
force-
forcing you to.
do you
take me
force
in, I'm
it
just
into
saying.
us, or is there like a
You've
way
got
to
a general.
push it out? Like, is that like mandatory?
Yeah.
You can definitely do that. You can definitely do that. But Razik is kind of pushy, and after your initial rejection, he says, oh, "It's not that big of a deal. See for yourselves." And he attempts to establish a psychic connection with you. If you accept, you can communicate telepathically as long as you're within 1 mile of each other. All of you.
I
I establish, and that's between myself and others. So I guess that would just be the others is like you and me, not like, I'm making everybody connected.
I resist, having just met you, saw you kill a bunch of dudes, and not sure if I trust you yet.
Prude, and you feel his voice retreat from your mind.
Jeez.
Yeah, just force yourself to lie. That's cool.
Jim, I resist.
It's just a more casual thing than you're making it out to be, Razik says out loud.
You're the one making a big deal out of
'Cause I
it,
guess he
leaving
waits
this
for you
guy
to
out.
answer
You
as
know?
So I was like, "All right, come on, man.
He
I
wants.
did
he
bless
wants-
you, it's-
He did.
I'm
bless
not
you.
gonna force
Listen,
myself into it. I
listen.
mean, it's
So,
whatever,
no, you did me. You blessed us back there. I'll never forget that. I just didn't want to put you at risk. You don't seem like the
Yeah,
sneaky
except
type.
you
I'm sorry.
you kind of did forget it. You forced me out of it, and then you didn't even want me involved. So I was
What
just
risk?
saying.
You said there was no
Listen,
risk.
I've got some residual sight. I can do it again. Do you want to be connected again? I can do it.
All right, who accepts the psychic connection?
I reject.
Silvermill will accept it. There's 2 that reject.
And
Well-
Will accept.
Okay, so
yeah.
so I feel it coming, and I start to reject, but then I realize it could give us a tactical advantage. So I just look at Gemma, not knowing she's already rejected, and say, "If this is happening to you, Gemma, push it out of your mind."
God. Doesn't feel right.
Willa will start to feel the psychic energy, and before she kind of accepts it, because she knows a little bit about this, she quickly sends him a psionic mind message to Razik, and she points at him without saying anything, and she's like, "If you do this means we're friends, right?"
I have not felt the touch of another mind since I left my homeland. Thank you so much, honored dragon.
Side puppet.
I know everyone. I feel like he's leaving a lot of stuff out.
It's a great comfort. It's
Which
like a
kinda
hug.
jumped right in.
It's like a hug for your head.
Is it though?
It's beautiful. It is.
I've never had this a hug before,
And
but
I say to Gemma psychically, just because you reject my connection doesn't mean I can't still talk to you psychically. It just means we're not connected by a mile. I can still do this.
Well,
And I say,
Sorry.
So
"Stay out of her head."
I won't do it though without your consent.
You just did. Can we go to the
For
end?
the,
then?
But thank you, Willa.
for the time being, Savamel, Willa, and Razik have this sort of psychic connection to where they can talk at any time, telekinetically.
Fist bumping in their heads.
Up to a mile.
Yeah, but the rest of the party, you make your way to the Imperial Inn. Anything else anyone wants to do before we enter the inn? No?
Nothing in
cool.
particular. Willa's just she's kind of waving to people. She's like, "Happy summer solstice. Have a good day. How are you doing?" She's really excited to be here. Even though everything just happened, she's still excited to be here.
A lot of them go,
So
"Oh,
magnanimous, my lady.
but you also, Willa, you also see there's some that are like there's a mixture of like there's some that are like, oh, wow, like because like never seen a gem dragonborn, and there's others that are like, wow, cool, a gem dragonborn, and then you get a couple of looks that are like untrustworthy. You get like a mixture, but this is something this is something that you're used to living. You're not far from this area, so you're kind of used to this sort of reaction against Jim Dragonborn. There's sort of a mixture of confusion, wonderment, tiny bit of fear, but it's not the same as other Jim or other Dragonborn. But a lot of them, you have a general positive response, especially during this holiday. Many of them, you too. Oh, Taitar be with you. Taitar be with you. You make your way to the Imperial Inn, and we'll go ahead and switch over to that map.
Is this area, even with the festivities going on and everything, are there often like patrols of Domaarian Knights going through the city, maybe even hanging out in some of these establishments?
Let's get to that in a second, but we are on a black map for now, so let's just get some light on the situation, so to speak. Let me go ahead and drag your characters into the entrance here of the inn.
I'm sorry, I think I overshot. I ended up in the darkness.
No, I got you. I got you all.
Thank you.
And we need my dude.
Willa, are you from here?
Oh, I should have asked the cleric to heal me.
Yeah,
Can
I'm
I
about
do that psychically?
2 hours south.
Hold on. What were you saying, Gemma?
Just kind of in passing asking if Willa was from this area.
Yeah, Gemma, I'm like a couple hours, maybe a couple days. All depends on how fast you're going. A little bit southwest of here. I don't come to town quite that often, but I've been here before. Are you from here? I'm surprised we haven't run into each other.
I'm from Halcyon. It's just outside between here and New Domar. I come here every once in a while usually for stuff like this. Maybe even some supplies once in a while, but pretty low key most of the time. I'm surprised I've never seen you before. I've never seen a gem dragon before.
Yeah, that's crazy. We might have just missed each other as we were going in and out of town.
Yeah.
But I only come every couple of years just because Ma and Pa don't like me coming here that often, so.
She kind of like nods her head, knowing that they're going into the inn, kind of like on the lookout still for any soldiers.
Yeah, so what was your initial question, Gemma, about the soldiers?
That it was mostly like if the town itself was frequented by sort of like patrols,
Oh yeah.
knights moving
Oh, yeah.
through, staying here, even drinking at the taverns, etc.
Absolutely. As you step in, though, you don't see any Domaarian guards or knights here at the moment.
Okay.
But the town is very much a imperial property. It is there are watchtowers there. It is mostly well guarded, and yeah, it's a cultural hub within the empire. Um, but as of right now, you come in and you see a very pretty nicely built, modest inn. It is built from uh, field stone and uh, logs and pretty new wood. It's pretty nice, actually. You come in and you can see there are various people's uh, sitting at tables and being served. There's a bar on the end, and there's stairs that lead up probably to rooms to the east. And you make your way in, and you can see a big,
The Witcher
large,
tavern music starts playing in our minds.
absolutely, and there's a big, large table here. Seems unoccupied. Silvermill immediately
Front and center.
goes to that spot and sits down.
I see 2 Antons.
Yeah. How'd that happen?
There are 2 instances. Boop. Done.
Gemma looks around like, maybe is there a more conspicuous table?
Gotcha.
I
I'll
just
get
stick,
Razik.
Stick close to Anton.
Oh, thank you.
wherever
Like,
he wants
oh,
things to
thank
go.
you. I can see now. I thought Wes moved me, and I just didn't want to disrupt the flow, so I haven't seen anything until now. But this is great.
All good. Everyone can see. Everyone
Theater of the mind.
good.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Cool.
Jenna, come
Yeah,
sit
there's a
down by the
nice big.
fireplace.
It's a big roaring fireplace. There's a nice big table in front of it, and there is a bard off to the side here that seems to be sort of playing a little tune on the lute. Seems to be mostly right at the moment tuning the lute and kind of plucking away, but you can see he seems like he's preparing to play. As well as various humans, elves, halflings, as is the majority of most of the races in this town.
Is that a barkeep behind that sort of beam up at the top? Yeah.
Yeah, that is a bartender, barkeep up there. Mm-hmm. There seems to be a server talking to this table over here. Eventually, Razik, do you sit down?
Yeah, I do. I actually wanted to find a place in the corner of the room, maybe by the bar. Is there like a seat over here? Maybe like more kind of like removed, I guess.
There's no seats here. There is an open seat here if you want to sit away from your group.
Okay, I'll sit with the party.
Okay.
But internally, Razik is developing a plan to kill everyone in this room, as he does with every room that he enters.
Did the people
Right, so
psychically
right-
connected to you hear that?
No.
Yeah.
No.
So I psychically say to Razik right before the bar wench comes over, "Hey, smiley man, you're good at talking. Do your talking to the wench. See if you can find out anything."
All right. Maybe I will take
You can
this woman's
see-
bread when she comes over.
Jesus Christ.
I say, humble milkmaid, how art thee?
You see a very young, fairly attractive female half elf. She approaches you all and goes, "Welcome to the Imperial Inn. Thank you for your patronage. What can I do for you?"
Tell
We
me,
have
my-
rooms available.
my
We
lovely
have
lass, who's that
ale,
bard?
wine.
Who's playing? His music is quite interesting to me.
Oh, that's Henrik. He frequents here every once in a while. Plays
He seems pretty
music.
good.
Yeah, he's okay. Yeah, we're happy to have him. But what can I get all of you? We've
What
got
do
all
you
kinds of.
recommend?
Yeah, we have stew. We have the pot roast. We've got ale. We've got wine. We've got cheese,
I'll have the
bread.
special.
We've the special. Let's see. The special tonight is
The one thing she
You
didn't
always want the
say.
special. It's way cheaper. It's way cheaper when you get the special.
It's like the one
whatever it
place that
is.
doesn't have a special.
Yeah,
To
we
travel on
don't
a
actually.
budget.
Yeah, we don't have a special.
They have a
actually.
regular.
It's just,
All right, I'll take the pot roast.
pot roast.
But thank you.
Anything to drink?
Smile.
Anything to drink?
Do you have carbonated water? Does that exist yet? Probably not. No, I'm good. I'll just have your regular water. Well, water, please.
Water. Okay.
The non-sulfur kind, if you've got it.
She kind of moves quickly away from you, and goes over.
I give
leans
Anton
kind
a
of
thumbs up.
leans kind of down close to Willa. What can I get you, young lady?
Oh gosh, I don't know. This is my first adventure. My first night at an inn. It's I've never done this
So
before.
earnest. I love it.
I'll take the stew. I feel like that's very traditional first adventure type thing, and
It's a great go-to.
and then just an ale.
Classic,
I
can't
feel
go
like
wrong.
yeah,
Ale?
that's very
Yeah,
classic.
okay. Classic. I love it. First adventure, ale, stew. I think you're choosing the right things. Okay, great. What can I get for you, young lady?
I'll have the
Brings
stew,
up Jim.
please, and some water.
Stew, stew, stew and water. Okay. Yes, for you, sir. Sir?
Are you talking to
Kind of
me?
leaning up close to yeah, yes.
How about the tallest ale you have in the house?
Oh, that's more like it. I like it. You know what? You kind of remind me of someone. What do you remind me of?
Yeah, I got one of those faces.
She kind of thinks back. She goes, you kind of remind me of the older gentleman. Very handsome, though. Older, but handsome. There's an elf. He's a farmer. Edge of town. Eagle's Nest Farm. Retired adventurer. Reminds me of you. Okay, I'll write that down. Okay, great. All right, let's go over. And
Razzie notices this.
what can I get you, sir? So the mill goes, puts his head back.
It's gonna be like krill. Krill burger.
Glad you asked. Do you have any seafood or anything like that? She goes, oh, we have fish, trout. He goes, I'll have that with potatoes, side of potatoes. If you can add cheese onto that, I'd like that, prefer that. And a big glass of wine, really big glass of wine. And she goes, okay, well, like that. All right, excellent. I will be back with your order. See you soon. And she
Oh,
walks
wait.
away.
Hold on.
Oh, yeah, yes.
Can I see what you wrote down? I want to make sure you got my order right.
Peels back the paper and goes, I wrote,
It's all up here, honey.
it's right here. Yeah, it's all up
So
here.
amazing how they do that. I could
All
never
up
do
here.
that.
I got you. Really big ale. That's the main thing I
I've got room
got.
in my mind
Did
for
you want
one contract, and that's it.
Did you want food, sir?
No. So Anton
think-
takes a look at the paper out of the side of his eye just to make sure she didn't write down any information about him.
Oh, make a perception check. She kind of like flashes it to you, like.
Oh no.
She flashes it so fast to you,
Anton,
you
why
don't
are
see
you
a thing.
squinting
You
like
just kind of,
that?
you kind of see some scribbles. She's like, "I know what I'm doing, honey. It's okay." And she goes back to the kitchen.
Really quick, Wes, you said that she told Anton that he looks like an older adventurer, an elf on the edge of town. Okay, just making sure it was elf.
Yes, Eagle's Nest Farm.
Eagles Nest Farm. Okay.
Sort of while you are waiting for your drinks and food and things like that, if you all want to make a perception check for me, please.
Everybody?
Yep, everyone. As you take in the sights and sounds and smells of the inn.
9.
Okay.
H1T.
Gemma got a 17, Anton got a 10, and Willa got a 9, and Razik got a 20. Let me roll for 7Mil as well. He got a 19.
I feel like Anton squints in suspicion, and then I like squint way harder in suspicion.
Yeah, excellent. So let's make this Gemma, Anton, and Razik. Go ahead and roll a d4 for me, please.
No.
Okay. Gemma, first off, you there's a halfling over here that seems to. So you're all sort of taking in the sights and sounds and kind of looking around. You get a sense of this halfling over here. You get a sense she's talking about something about her wares being stolen from the market. You hear something too about the Scarlet Knuckles. Stolen from the Scarlet Knuckles seem to have stolen something from her from the market.
Have I heard that before?
Roll an intelligence check.
Do you mean charisma? Just kidding. Damn it. A 4.
No, you haven't heard of that before.
Oh.
You haven't heard of the Scarlet Knuckles before.
Right. Kind of whisper.
What about I?
Yeah.
Let's just go around to each of the
We rolled
perceptions
the
first,
same.
and then we'll move from there. So, Gemma, that's what you heard. Anton, there's a female elf over here at the bar, straight across from you, Anton, that seems to catch your attention. She seems really distraught. She's sort of talking to some of the people at the bar. She seems to be looking for her lost son, Kaimel. She seems to be something about her son missing, and there's been a bunch of mysterious disappearances of elves recently. She seems really distraught. Like, have you seen my
Of
son?
elves or half elves?
Of elves.
Elves.
Razik. There is a gentleman over here at the bar that's right behind you that you catch with your hearing. He seems to be. He's talking about he needs some skilled guards to protect his caravan on the road. So here's like something about Well, they pay pretty handsomely for it, but I just haven't found the right people.
Do I pick up where they're going?
You don't at the
Might
moment.
be a good excuse to get out of town.
You don't at the
All right,
moment, but
I
you
report
hear
that
something.
to Willa and Anton psychically. I report that I heard a person talking about a caravan job.
So, so those are the results of your perceptions. Now, if you want to talk amongst yourselves about anything coming forward.
Anton, what are we doing? Where are we gonna go from here? What's the plan?
Hold on a second, Jimbo. You remind me of somebody, just why I'm helping you, but this lady here reminds me of someone as well. Stay right behind me, okay?
Which lady?
There's a woman at the bar over there. Watch my back. So I walk up. Take a seat.
Wait, don't make a scene. We haven't had lunch yet.
It's dinner time.
Dinner?
Well, we didn't have lunch either, but yes.
That's fair.
It's true. You
That's fair.
haven't eaten all day.
Anton orders another ale from the barkeep just so we can double fist later.
Yeah, you see this sort of very slim, you see this sort of very, very tall, thin male human behind the bar who approaches, sort of cleaning off a mug. Kind of leans forward towards you. What can I get you, friend?
I'll take the tallest ale you have. Kind of thirsty. I've been searching all day. That's what I do. I search for people. I say it loud enough for the lady next to me to get me.
Okay. Hold on. I'm going to get a price on that real quick.
Razik whispers into your mind, "How's it going? It looks like it's going well. Keep it up."
He goes,
Keep listening. I might need your help.
that's 4 copper.
All right. Slap it on the table.
Takes up the coins. Kind of goes off to the side here to these ale barrels and starts pouring out a large mug for you. And you can see this lady here seems really distraught. You can see her cheeks almost that she's been crying. You can tell, sort of dry, but you can tell that from her eyes and her cheeks she's been crying. She kind of looks towards you. Goes, did you say that you find people? You can find missing people?
Well, I find bad people, but I guess I could find any if I wanted to.
Please, you look like a capable warrior, adventurer. My son, Kaimel, he's been missing. I don't know where he is.
Psychic man,
There's been-
I say, sorry. Keep going.
I don't... There's been many elves missing, and seems my son is missing as well. If there's anything you can do, please.
Smiling man, I say psychically, give me something empathetic to say.
Can I hear the conversation, or do I just hear his
You can hear it.
voice?
You can hear it because you're paying attention.
Okay. Whew. She sounds pretty sad, Chief.
I'm not good at these types of things.
She goes, my name's Ina. My
tell her
name's
you're going to
Ina.
help. And maybe
I'm
you
Ina
can go ask about
Finbalar.
that elf who looks like you.
Ina, that's your name. Well, listen. Do you have any coin on you?
A little bit. I can pay for your services.
We'll talk about that later, but tell me more about this missing person.
Well,
Ina Thembalar.
I mean, if you there's a notice on the town hall. If you go look at yourself, there's a reward for these missing elves. Missing elves. There's been elf citizens, children, adults, all kinds. I'm an elf myself. I'm terrified. And now my son is missing. And we don't know what's happening to them. But there is a reward for those who find out what's taking them or killing them or kidnapping them or whatever. I don't know. But I will reward you if you can find my son.
When's the last time you saw your son?
Oh, God. 4 days now? 5 days?
Where was he?
He was playing in town with his friend.
And how old is he?
He's 10.
And you say there's a reward.
Ask her about the father. What race is the father?
Is
I
his
say
father an elf
technically.
like you?
To Anton.
Yes. My husband. He's also an
Your
elf.
elves.
And you say there's a reward beyond what you can give me.
Yes. There's been so many missing elves that the town, Lady Gilkis, she's willing to pay anyone who can find any information about what's going on with these elves, where they're going.
Okay. Well, if there's a reward in it, I may be able to help. Can I ask you one question, which may be a little strange?
Yes.
Why are you
Do
limiting
I
yourself to
remind
one
you of
question?
anyone?
She might ask multiple questions. Or she might answer multiple questions, Razik says in your head critically.
Do I remind you of anybody?
Do you remind me of anybody? Seems
Yeah.
still a little confused. No.
Never mind, skip it.
No,
Look,
you
if-
don't
if-
remind me of
If
anybody.
you know of
It's a good
anywhere where I
line,
could
though.
start,
That is a good
know-
line.
if you know of anywhere I could start, let me know. Otherwise, we'll ask around town.
I'd suggest asking around, but last I heard, he was playing with his best friend. His best friend, Tristan. He's
It's just
a young boy. Son of the owner of the Lazy Pony Stables.
I'll see what I can do.
Um,
I walk back to the
I
table.
think he was with him last. Thank you.
I walk back to the table with my
Razik
gal.
is scribbling down, kill owner of Lazy Pony Stables. Underlines 3 times.
All right.
I don't trust Razik.
You sit back.
Something about him. I just. I don't
You don't know that I did that. I just did it.
Oh, okay.
Just narrating for the audience.
At this point, the waitress comes back out. The barmaid starts handing out the drinks, the food. You get nice looking bowls of stew and everything else that you've ordered. Nice big drinks, and all of you are seemingly ravenous. You haven't eaten, and you feel like at least a couple days. You're starving. Start to immediately down all of this food and everything that you've been given. She goes, anything else I can get you?
Nope, there's a sandwich in every goblet. Go.
That is the saying somewhere. And she moves off to the other people. Anyone else want to do anything?
Anton, what was that about?
I'll tell you a little later. Smiling man. See someone looking at you.
I say
Noticed him staring
he
at you
was
when I was at
talking
the
to
bar.
that woman in a whispered voice. I just like bypass the social pressure of Anton not sharing what's going on, and I say to Gemma, sort of like in a "you should have been psychically connected to me" type of way. Oh yeah, no, he was just scanning that elf for information. Might be that we have a job. It's been a while since I've had a job. Kind of playing with some food in my fork.
I don't want to be connected with you in any way. You creep me out. And says to Anton, what kind of job? I thought we were leaving. I thought we were leaving town.
Something going on with the elves in town. And we should figure it out. Also, there's some gold in it, but I'm more interested in what might be behind it. Kids are involved, Gemma. Kids even younger than you.
Also, Anton's father lives here or something. That's what I've heard. Or an elf that looks like him, at least.
So, Willow, by the way, can't age gem dragons. How old are you anyway? 10, 50?
50? I'm about 24. You can't tell from how I look?
Sorry.
Trust me, when you see an older gem dragon, you would know. At least I think. I haven't seen many of them myself either.
Do they get bigger? Are there giant gem dragon ladies out there? I'm asking for a friend.
I have not met many, so it could be.
Well,
That's
Willow,
sad. Did you grow up by yourself, away from other gem dragons?
No, I have my family, but they're all human. So, you know, there's a little bit of a disconnect
I'm
there.
sorry. I get personal very quickly. It's just, it's hard when you can just, in my homeland, it's very natural to just, be one with someone else. It's a little bit weird to be by yourself.
No. I'm an open book. You guys ask me whatever questions. At first, you guys were all killing everything back there. I wasn't really sure about what was happening. But now that I think about it, I think that this is fate. This is my first adventure. I wouldn't have met you guys unless it was for a purpose. So ask me whatever. And I
ask you
I'll
anything?
ask you guys whatever.
All right. Fuck, marry, kill. Gemma, Anton, Savamil.
That's very
Fuck, marry, kill.
appropriate, Razek. I think I made the right choice not getting connected with you.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. You're underage. Damn it.
it's a child.
That really
here,
limits
pervert.
you to the kill.
Willa,
Gemma is
being a
underage.
child bride for being killed.
Willa, I have a question. Why?
Sorry, your customs are so strange in your distant land.
Why would you be taken by the Imperial soldiers? What would they want from someone like you?
Well, I'm not out of my farm too much, but I do look different, especially around these parts. So that's the only thing I could guess. I don't really pay too much attention to it. I'd like to just go with the flow of things, but I wish I could remember what happened.
Me too. That's terrible.
They did a racism on you. That's terrible.
Yep. Yeah. Unfortunately, that happens here. And I think I know why the three of you were probably taken.
Are you roping me and Anton in with this guy and the CL? Salvamil?
I guess the three of you, but no, I don't know about Sovamil. Sovamil, why would you be taken? You're a cleric, aren't you? That's okay in the Empire?
Yeah, that's... Kind of looks around. Probably should not say this here, but kind of leans in close. Despite the fact that I am a cleric of Cortalia, not a big fan of the Empire. I said it. Just not a big fan. And I'm not from the Empire
You're so
either.
brave.
So,
You're
it's,
so brave.
well, I'm not from here
I give them a
either.
C-.
I'm on a quest of my own. I'm seeking a great artifact, one taken from my people.
Oh.
So I've had to come and search the dry lands, as we call them, looking for it. But I don't remember why I was captured. Probably because I'm a sea elf. I'm used to it. Anyway, yeah, Empire, not for me.
Racist.
I don't know how you live here. Kind of bullshit.
Well, your explanation sounds like bullshit, but we'll let it sit there.
And, well, if any one of you try to report me, I'll run or I'll kill you.
Can I do an insight
enough.
check? Not on the killing part, but on the part before that.
Yeah, go ahead and roll an insight.
All right. I got a 3.
You're kind of enraptured.
So confident.
Just very confident.
He's just so confident. I can't even. Wow.
Listen, I just know what I want, you know? Anyway, I know that I could probably be killed for telling you that, but then again, I can kind of trust you because we just killed some Imperial soldiers, so I feel like I can trust you because... Oh, shh. Sorry. Yeah.
I'm whispering psychically.
We talked to Imperius. You know what? I'm just going to shut up. Takes his drink.
All right. So, as we start to wrap up, I assume, we had 3 people that we overheard as a group, right? Or was it just 2? Because we heard the lady over here talking.
Yeah, before we
over here in the
wrap up, I
corner,
do want to
and then we had the person
sort
at the
of
bar.
get to at least anything else or any other questions or anything else you want to discuss about the other 2 things that were talked about.
Joe doesn't bring up what she heard.
Okay.
Not yet, anyways.
Okay. Anyone else want to bring anything else up? I think you're on mute, Justin.
Does everyone here like money? Anyone?
I mean, I think that finding the elves and getting paid might be a worthy goal. Also, we might want to tack onto that caravan just for the sake of getting out of town, getting out of Dodge.
What?
Before
What caravan? What are you talking about? What
consequences
caravan?
catch up with us?
What caravan are you talking about?
The caravan that we heard that there might be a job for. I think I mentioned it to Anton
you heard it.
and Sovmill and Willa. I thought that I had kind of shared it with my psychic bond peeps.
Were you listening out of
If
my
not,
other
I
ear?
will now. Is that?
Sometimes I get confused with the voice of my goddess and the voice of your voice. There's a job, you said? To...
Yeah, I overheard someone saying they needed some muscle to maybe guard a caravan.
Oh.
Might be a good way to get out of town without
that sounds like a
lot of
job
questions getting asked.
for me. Yeah, that's we should do that.
I hear.
Get
I
out
don't
of
think
here
we
and get
should linger
paid.
here,
Can't
despite how good the world building is.
I can't believe I was saying this,
I'm feeling
but
pretty
that sounds like a
anxious.
good idea. And Gemma sort of nudges Anton. That could be our way out.
But at the same time, as an elf children going missing, that seems pretty weird.
Look, I'm going after the kids. You guys.
I mean,
don't
did we
help
ask
me.
her how much money she was putting up, Anton?
There's a whole
was-
town reward, apparently.
It was a pool of money from the whole town. So if you don't follow me to help,
All right. Well, why don't we go check the notice board? We can go check the notice board, I guess. We can get our quest.
All right,
If we
well,
do
perhaps
something-
before all of that,
If we do something
ahead.
like that, we have to stay somewhat inconspicuous. I mean, solving this sort of grand kidnapping of all the elves in town is sure to draw some attention.
Gregory, perhaps we should just try and stay low and maybe discover what's going on first. But before any of that, I need to drink more and I need to sleep because it is late at night. So let's say we get some rooms and we call it a day, and then we talk about it in the morning.
So, Mel, you're so wise, and I'll grab some of your wine, and I'll take a gulp, and I'll order some myself, and we'll drink together for the rest of the eve.
You drank his wine and then you ordered more. That's what
This
it
is
sounded like.
this must be some weird Pangean custom to
Mhm.
drink from other people's glasses, but since I just met you, I think
I do
I'll
that
allow
thing
it.
that Archer does, where I just hold up my finger as I slowly drain his glass while maintaining eye contact. I'm just kidding. I'll order
that's-
you one too, friend.
And that's where we leave it. It's just like, yeah. So that is going to wrap it up for now. We will come back to this in 2 weeks' time. We will pick up from our time at
Woo,
the
we did
end,
it.
see where our heroes will go. Thank you so much, everyone, for watching, for joining us
Yeah, thank you,
on
new
this
friends,
first
and thank you, Wes.
session and quest. Thank you all, players, and we have so much cool stuff to get to, and we've only just touched on it. It's going to be great. So again, thank you all. We'll be back in 2 weeks on July 6th at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. This episode will also be available on YouTube and your favorite podcast platforms within the next few days. And also, big shout out to Elena Fe Art. She was an artist we commissioned to create our character art. Looks fantastic. And be sure to check her out on Etsy at etsy.com/shop/Elena ELENAFE art. That's it. Again, thank you so much for coming, and we'll see you in 2 weeks.
Thanks, guys.
Yay.
Yes.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Good night, everybody.
Bye, everyone.
Thank you.